What up? It's your boy BigDonSkillz bringing you another video today, and we are doing another episode of the BigDonSkillz podcast. Man, we still working out a name. We're working out a lot of things, but I'm happy y'all joined me today. We got a lot of good stuff this week, from Assassin's Creed to Marvel Rivals and Inzoi and everything in between. So first, before I start, you already know we're on the road to 1,000. Tell your friends about your boy Big Don. Let's get to 1,000. We're at 967 right now. Let's get it. First thing we're going to talk about is the upcoming games of this week. As of today's recording, it is the 25th of March, all right? And a couple of games that are going to be notable for this week are going to include Dollhouse Behind the Broken Mirror, Atomfall, the first Berserker Khazan, Gal Guardians Servants of the Dark, Inaya Life After Gods, Inzoi, which is currently in early access, Karma, The Dark World, Breakout Beyond, Dark Deity 2, and River Towns. I think the two big standouts for this week, or I would say the three big standouts, would be Atomfall, the first Berserker Khazan, which is like a Souls-like game, which is based on Dungeon Fighter as a series, and then Inzoi, which is supposed to be the next coming of Sims, and has one of the craziest character creators I've ever seen in my entire life. This has a demo right now available, and I'm trying to get access to that. So let's jump into the news for today, the big boys. First, we're going to be talking about something that warms my heart personally. Assassin's Creed Shadows broke PS Store record sales for Ubisoft. I didn't even read the title right. Assassin's Creed Shadows broke PS Store sales records for Ubisoft. Doubt the success crept up on a company. With digital becoming an increasingly popular method for people to purchase games, PS Store sales record really matter. The wording on this article is kind of funny. Ubisoft will be elated to learn that Assassin's Creed Shadows set a new launch day record for the publisher on Sony's storefront, then, according to data seen by VGC. We already reported on how the title has secured the second best launch in series history, behind only Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which released during the holidays at the height of the pandemic. But we figured it was worth pointing out the feudal affair appears to be Ubisoft's best ever day one PS Store performance. It's always worth caveating that digital sales have only been increasing since the last major Assassin's Creed game, and prices have also gone up. So that does not make the record a little easier to break, but it's still a fantastic result for the French publisher nonetheless. Now, I don't know what's going on with the wording of this article. It was throwing me off. But Assassin's Creed, for everybody who isn't aware or is aware, there's been a lot of controversy with this game, mainly due to Yasuke, the Black Samurai, saying he's not historically accurate. There's been a lot of those grifters, which are people who make content to spew hate and negativity and racism. That has been the big topic of this game. And they were the very loud, outspoken ones. Oh, this character's not there. This is not accurate. Yasuke doesn't exist, even though it's an accepted part of Japanese culture. So in this game in particular, you play as two different characters. You play as Yasuke and you play as a female character who has a more traditional Assassin's Creed style. Yasuke is a big samurai, so he can't really do the assassination technique. So he brings that layer of fighting to the game. It's something I've been looking at getting, and I got about 2 more games on my catalog to finish, and I think I'll definitely cop this one. But I'm excited about this because the grifters don't belong in the gaming community, and we win when we see things like this. Whether it's Ubisoft, even if this was EA, I'd be happy because we don't need to let that type of negativity in our community as a gaming community. And I just wanted to show that the numbers don't lie. Like right here, 34,000 people are playing right now on PC alone. And you got to think about, a lot of people love Steam sales, Steam numbers. That's a smaller population because most people don't have powerful gaming PCs. So you're going to have, if there's 34,000 people playing right now, when there were 64,000 just 2 days ago, there's easily 3, 4, 5 times as many people just playing, period, across all the consoles. So these numbers don't lie. I'm happy for Assassin's Creed Shadow's success. I have not played Assassin's Creed since Unity, so this may be the one to get me right back into it. All right, a great announcement. This one just got announced today. Monster Hunter Wilds Showcase for March 2025 announced what's going to be coming in the upcoming Title Update 1. I'm super hyped, and I could talk about this all day, but I'm not going to do it to you, okay? I'll read this article. Capcom hosted a Monster Hunter Wilds Showcase today, spotlighting everything coming to its latest entry in the Monster Hunter series, alongside a look at Title Update 1. We also got news about more cosmetic DLC, some surprise additions, and the next title update on the way too. Title Update 1 arrives on April 4th, 2025 as a free update for all owners of Monster Hunter Wilds. In tandem with the launch, several pieces of free DLC and paid DLC will be going live as well. A new hub will expand the hangout potential for hunters. New armor and cosmetic pieces shake up the fashion game for us fashion hunters. And more fearsome monsters await on the horizon. Some of the features, if you're a fan of previous Monster Hunters or you're new to the series, you're going to appreciate this stuff. A new hub for hunters. Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Rise had the Gathering Hub. The Gathering Hub is a giant area where you can walk around with your friends and see what they're doing and gather and do things before the quest starts. In Monster Hunter Wilds, everything's kind of split up across the locales. And so you don't really see your friends before you start quests because you could be in two different areas. The Gathering Hub is going to centralize everything, and I think that's going to be super fun. They even added a barrel roll mode where you can roll barrels down, and it's a mini game. It looks fun and something casual. So it's going to bring the social features. And as you know with Drip in Monster Hunter, you gotta bring it with the Monster Hunter. Also, Mitsusune, if I'm saying it correctly, arrives. Mitsusune, first time I ran into this monster was Monster Hunter Rise. I'm not sure if it was in the previous games, but Mitsusune was a pretty cool monster. Water monster. It's like this water dragon, and it floats and swims in the water, and it can shoot these bubbles that give you a status called Bubble Blight. And then it can also shoot this laser beam of water. It's just this giant jet stream of water it can shoot at you. It's a pretty fun monster to fight. I think it's a good addition to the game, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be one of the big monsters. You're going to have to be Hunter rank 21 or higher for that. So if you haven't been grinding, hit your boy Don up and we can grind together. There's going to be additional hunts on the way. They're going to bring the Arc-Tempered Ray Dow. Ray Dow had the tempered version, but the Arc Temper is going to be even stronger, and that's going to bring a new set of armor with it too. That's going to be even better. So that's more to grind for. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. They're bringing back Arena Quest, which was something that I thought was oddly absent from the base game, but we got it soon. It's only been a month, so I'm cool with it. But Arena Quest is going to allow you to do challenges, clear for certain times. Arena Quests sometimes give you preset items that you have to fight with. You're also going to be able to change your girl Alma's outfit, for some of y'all out there. Some of y'all, you could take her glasses off. You can get her drip going. So, you can make your hand look right. And then they also announced there's going to be more DLC on the way. Skins, cosmetic items. If you got the deluxe edition, some of that stuff's going to be included with that version. And then we're going to have more quests, seasonal events. Monster Hunter's going to have Monster's always having those collaborations. There's also going to be a Capcom collaboration coming at the end of May, which I'm looking forward to. So hopefully it's maybe Street Fighter or Mega Man or something like that. And then they teased a monster at the end. And I am not familiar with this monster, but it's a Lagaricus. Listen, y'all can roast me in the comment section. Lagiacrus. Lagiacrus. I don't know. Lagiacrus. But they teased him some monster from the older games. I've never seen it before. I'm excited if the fans are excited. So let's get it. I'm rolling. I'm going to be ready day one, baby. Let's do it. And just going over some of the games that were announced this week. Again, the first Berserker Khazan, I actually, just before the stream, or just before this podcast, rather, I was watching Moist Critical. He appeared to be playing an early access version of this game. And there was a demo that dropped a couple months ago. So for anybody who is interested in this, there's a demo right here for PC, Xbox, and PS5. And I played it on PS5 and PC. It's a Souls-like, so if you're into Souls-like, this could be something for you. If you're not, this is probably not going to be your game. It caught my interest because Dungeon Fighter Online is a really cool free-to-play side-scroller like MMO. And I believe this Berserker is based on the Berserker in that game. I think that's pretty sweet. But it looks pretty dope. I'm hoping to see some more gameplay of it. Early access started on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. But then this game officially comes out on the 27th. Another mention is Inzoi. This was the game I mentioned earlier that's supposed to be very similar to Sims. Has this crazy character creator that you can download. I never was a person who played Sims growing up, but games that have these giant social features have definitely like caught my eye more recently. Think of Animal Crossing, for example. I'm looking forward to giving this a try. I'm not sure what its paid model is going to be, if it's going to be free to play, if it's going to be paid. But listen, the character customization you can see in these screenshots right here is insane. You can make your character look exactly like you. And I even saw someone do like Nicki Minaj. It looked literally like Nicki Minaj. So it's crazy the details you could do with this. And if they treat this game right, this is going to be a big deal. But the graphics are absolutely beautiful. So I think this will be a fun one. I watched my 15 minutes on Twitch to get the demo access, but I was unable to get it working. I tied my account and everything. So hopefully I can play this before they decide to launch it, but we'll see. It's supposed to launch on the 27th as well. All right, and then we got some negativity right here. This is like the first true negativity of today's stream. We're talking about Bleach Rebirth of Souls on PC. Shout out to my boy Second Status, who really kind of brought some of this to my attention. This PC launch has been nothing short of horrid. Anime fighters are already in a weird situation. The only exception of a game that sold really well would have been Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and I didn't even like Sparking Zero. This game isn't going to be a Sparking Zero at all, and it's going to have to get itself right. Bleach is an amazing anime. After what's been going on in the Thousand Blood War, like, it's been amazing. However, I'm going to read out some of these things that this game has experienced. So my boy Status said, there was no patch and you had to go into the Windows registry and change the system language settings. Scrolling down to some of these reviews, I believe in the past day or two, there was a patch that I believe helped fix a lot of the issues, but there's still going to be some ongoing problems. Fun game in a very horrible state. Wait for patches. Possibly the worst PC launch I've experienced. Multiple days after launch and I'm not able to launch the game full stop. Not sure I personally experienced a launch this bad, and I've heard of multiple other issues for people that can go further that also seem unacceptable, such as sound issues, not rendering above 1080p, further stability crashing, and unoptimized performance. Honestly, staggering this game came from a major publisher, and surprised there isn't currently more of a major outcry over this. Hopefully they'll be more transparent over how this happened and provide more communication over fixing these issues. So you see some people right here that are like, look, the game works fine for me. However, even after bug fixes, this game is busted and the freezing is crazy. The game seems totally incapable of playing 2 offline matches in a row, and this includes story mode. I do not dare even try online because it's broken enough offline. I did every bit of troubleshooting possible and nothing. This is a terrible port, and until Bandai Namco fixes it, I cannot play it. Also, I'm missing Toshiro's 1,000-Year Blood War costume. And he says it plays and looks and is peak. So it's like, when it plays, it's great. And I've heard a lot of good things about the combat, that it's not just this typical anime fighter, that there's real combos. Unplayable still stated to release patch 4 days later, but no patch has come. Honestly, incredible how bad of a launch this is. Would really like to play, but just can't. Yeah, people can't even play the game. Crashes, game's in a horrible state. It's unplayable on PC. It's choppy. There's red stuff across the screens. Like, yo, this is awful. You gotta do better. You can't do this. You're supposed to be the top dog of animes, and this game was promising. A lot of people were looking forward to it. Oh man, you hate to see it. And now we're moving on to some interesting news, kind of rumor mill. Microsoft publishes and pulls Xbox UI mockup featuring a tab for Steam games. Microsoft has leaked what appears to be an in-development Xbox UI update that allows players to see all of the PC games they've installed through Steam, the Epic Game Store, and more. The company prematurely pulled back the curtain on what would eventually be a feature for players to take advantage of in a recent blog post titled Opening a Billion Doors with Xbox. As spotted and shared by The Verge, the post included a seemingly innocuous image of Xbox Series X/S consoles alongside phones, tablets, television screens, and more. Closer inspection, however, reveals that some of the devices' screens highlight a small tab labeled Steam. And here's the picture right here. If you look right here, yeah, this looks like the Xbox dashboard. And then when you see recently added, installed, owned, Game Pass, Steam, owned, and then action adventure. So there's filters by Steam, and that could mean so many things. If you could natively just play your Steam ported games on Xbox, the world, it's crazy. Xbox is totally winning if they do this. And you got to think, Xbox, Microsoft have been so open to collaboration. There was rumors a couple years back about them bringing Xbox Live to the Nintendo Switch. So could you imagine, like, if the Nintendo actually playing Smash Brothers or something had the stability and servers of Xbox? Come on now. I think this is really cool. I would love to see what the result is from this, you know? I'm just finishing the article. It's easy to miss, but undeniably strange considering Valve's digital PC storefront doesn't really share any functionality with Microsoft gaming hardware in this way. The image has also now been removed from the post itself, signaling that Xbox team wasn't interested in leaving it up there for a few keen-eyed readers notice Steam's inclusion. The Verge's sources said the company is indeed working on an update that will connect users not only to their Steam library, but to other PC storefronts too. If accurate, it would mean players could see every game installed on their PCs and which storefront they purchased them through. The site said Microsoft is still in the early stages when it comes to the development of this potential UI update, so don't expect to see an update roll out soon, if ever, until more concrete information is revealed. So yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Like I said, Xbox has been pushing an inclusion for everyone, and I really like that. Series X, super powerful console, but then you can play games you bought on Series X on PC and vice versa. So sometimes I want to play my games on PC and I'm playing it right here with the better performance. Or if I'm just feeling like sitting on my couch, I'll just play it on Xbox. I really like that I had that cross save, cross progression between PC and Xbox. It's just a really convenient thing for me. All right, and going on to movies now. Now we're talking about some Snow White. If y'all don't know, Snow White dropped this week, and it has been nothing short of memes on TikTok. So Disney Snow White film tops box office despite bad reviews from BBC News. Disney's live-action version of the classic fairy tale Snow White has topped the North American box office chart despite a slew of underwhelming reviews. The movie has taken an estimated 87.3 million globally during its opening weekend, according to Box Office Mojo. Almost half of that figure came from North America, 87 million, but is below expectations for a film that reportedly cost more than 270 million. Yeah, that's really low numbers for literally Snow White. The reworking of the 1937 feature-length animation had seemed like a surefire hit before running into a series of controversies ahead of its release. The revamp of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs became a flashpoint for social and political divisions even before it reached cinemas around the world. That included some criticism of the casting of Rachel Zegler, who is of Colombian descent, as the heroine. There was also backlash about Zegler's pro-Palestinian comments and about pro-Israel comments by Israeli actress Gal Gadot, who plays Snow White's stepmother, the evil queen. So they literally beefing in real life. And there is an ongoing debate about whether there should have been dwarves in the film at all, live or computer-generated imagery, CGI. In mainland China, Snow White ranked outside the top 5 movies in cinemas, according to Int Group's China box office website. In the country of more than 1.4 billion people, it brought in less than 1 million in its first 3 days in cinemas in China. I suspect that the multiple controversies have dulled the film's appeal. Entertainment industry consultant Patrick Frater told the BBC, why did I say like the BBC? That and the waning impact of many Hollywood productions in Asia, which we have seen since the beginning of the pandemic. Like, that's one thing too. Like, the quality and decline of movies in general has been really bad since COVID. I was watching movies so much prior to COVID. I had Movie Pass, and I would go to AMC and use the AMC Movie Pass, and it was fun. There was a lot of movies that even if I wasn't that interested in, hey, I'm gonna go and check it out anyways because why not? I got the Movie Pass, and it's at a point now to the last movie I seen in theaters was Bad Boys, Bad Boys 4. Like, there's just not a lot of very interesting and appealing movies anymore. And it seems like the quality's down, the CGI has gotten worse, the writing isn't quite there. And yeah, there's a lot of controversies. You know, Rachel Zegler was talking a lot, and Gal Gadot was acting horribly because she can't act either. And this movie's kind of been of a hot mess. So, you know, I think Disney needs to chill out a little bit and look at themselves in the mirror and say, what am I gonna do with these live action movies? Because they're all soulless and they're dull and they don't have the Disney magic that we grew up on, that, you know, me as a kid, our parents, you know, people that we know grew up on it. These movies lack the color and the vibrancy of Disney. And that's been the biggest problem with them. Ignore the controversies. The actual movies are soulless. Back to another one that I thought was funny that I saw a couple days ago. Ant-Man star Paul Rudd is still thinking about that hilarious Ant-Man and Thanos theory. Hey friends, you remember that Ant-Man and Thanos theory? You know, the one where Ant-Man could potentially shrink down enough to enter Thanos' anus and then morph into his giant man form to essentially explode Thanos from the inside via his gastrointestinal system. How could you forget? Exactly. Well, it appears Paul Rudd himself can't stop thinking about the Thanos theory either. I often wonder, though, could he really have stopped Thanos in that way? Because didn't he, at that point, have the Space Stone or whatever? Rudd revealed during an interview with comic book co-starring Jenna Ortega for his upcoming film Death of a Unicorn. But Ortega became visibly confused with the topic, so Rudd helped fill her in. Do you know what we're talking about? He asked her. There was a theory going against Thanos. Why didn't Ant-Man just, instead of Thanos, it was Thanos, go up there and expand? This is such a weird article. From there, a clearly bemused Ortega asks, I thought he was already big. Ant-Man or Thanos, Rudd wondered. The purple one, Ortega suggested. Thanos, Rudd reminded her. I get really small and then I go. So, oh, that's why you're called Ant-Man. Yeah. Damn. Wow. Such an awkward conversation. The theory is one of those obscure internet relics that doesn't have an exact origin, but it started to gain traction back in 2017 surrounding Avengers Infinity War. 2 years later, it picked up steam again with Avengers Endgame, released in 2019. Needless to say, it's still a popular and wonderfully ridiculous theory. Based on the resurgence, it seems as though some fans are still wondering if the legendary war tactic would finally be used against some MCU villain eventually. And the next one up is Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday, who doesn't arrive until May 26. That said, he isn't nearly as huge as Thanos physically, so it seems as though the Avengers probably won't need to deploy that plan this time. Never say never, though. Anything can happen, even this. Okay. I mean, they did it on The Boys. If y'all have watched the show The Boys, that's all I gotta say. I mean, it theoretically could happen, but then there wouldn't be a movie to talk about. So I think it could actually happen, but would he do it? Nah. Anything to save the world, I guess. And then really quick here, I'm gonna play it on mute, but we have a teaser for Lego Pokemon. So I have that playing here in the background. You see the Pikachu tail made out of Lego spin around with some electricity, jolt, and a Lego Pokemon collaboration. And I don't know, I thought they had collab before, but I'm curious to really see what this is about. You got the Thunderbolt, you've got the Pokemon signal. I think this should be interesting. There's not really any information on this other than the fact this is a teaser. But if they do a collaboration with Pokemon, or y'all go into the Lego store with me to grab some Pokemon Pikachu Legos, the answer better be yes. Something short and fun to share. That's all I got for that one. Now, something else that's super cool that came out of nowhere that I just saw when I was talking about Monster Hunter earlier. The website Tommy has Monster Hunter Zoids. Monster Hunter Zoids. You see this? Look, look, look at this. The Zoids Monster Hunter Knuckle Kong Rajang. That's beautiful. And then you also have the Zoids and Monster Hunter Gatling Fox Mitsuzune. Like, that's beautiful. They're $50 a pop. And the nerd in me makes me want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This looks so cool. I love Zoids growing up. Zoids Chaotic Century is like one of the most underrated animes that I've watched. This is super cool. Like, I had no idea this existed, and it just seemingly came out of nowhere. The Mitsuzune one is really cool though, with the fox and the Gatling gun. I remember Command Wolf, but yeah, look at that. That is gorgeous. Yo, all right. Who's copping these for me? Who's giving me an early birthday present for next year? You know, my birthday until next year. Awesome. Zoids, love it. EmuDeck, a front-end emulation program that can host a compilation, a hodgepodge of emulators, has released a new update, which has integration selection. You can auto add ESDE, which is emulation station, to Steam. There's a new BIOS checker, BYO Citron, which is an emulator. I think the 3DS, Azahar. There's even a new wiki. For people who have the Steam Deck, this is a really great way to set up your emulators, your emulation, get that rolling. And this is also available on PC as well. So if you're looking at a new way to get into emulation, maybe you don't use RetroArch, this is a good way to get into it too. Super fun. Super great way to play Virtual Fighter 2 like he's about to play. Like, whatever your favorite old school games are, I mean, this is a great way to put a nice, pretty face on what you're emulating. So just want to talk about that real quick. And then moving on to the last but not least, just going to play some gameplay here and just make a quick statement about Marvel Rivals. I think Marvel Rivals, after Monster Hunter came out, and I went crazy on Monster Hunter for a week and got to Hunter rank 100, I feel like the lovey-dovey phase is over for Marvel Rivals. And it's a fun game, but all the content that I've seen online, it's really getting into that toxic category that like Overwatch and all these other shooters go into, where everybody thinks they're the main character. Everybody thinks that it's their teammates' fault for things not going right. Everybody's gonna blame their Rocket Raccoon because he's Rocket Raccoon. Everybody's gonna blame their DPS because they're not getting kills. Everybody's gonna blame their healers because their healers aren't healing them. And it's everybody pointing fingers at everyone else. You know that meme with Spider-Man when they're like, it's all the duplicates pointing at each other? That's kind of what Marvel Rivals is. And the content is like gotten really stale and annoying to watch because I don't care about competitive. I've never been a person to care about competitive in these games. But like, it's just too much for me. And at the end of the day, I just want to get on, play with some friends, have some fun matches, do cool things, and have a good day. But I think people, you know, with gaming, and that's another topic, I think, for another video. People with gaming have just, they've gotten too serious. And even the so-called casual players aren't really casual. Everybody's trying to grind this rank and be the best person in rank. And they're just angry the whole time. And they're not enjoying the game because they're playing this competitive mode, even though they're never going to be competitive. It's just weird to me. So, you know, Marvel Rivals is a fun game. I still enjoy it. I still like to hop on time to time. But yeah, the Cinderella phase or whatever it's called, it's over to me. It's kind of just turned into a lot of other games. And I've been moving towards playing like the finals, which is a lot less stressful for me. And you know, I just like something that's fun and casual that I could still go for dubs, you know, and have a good time and play with friends. But yeah, that's it. That's all for today's podcast, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed. We hit a little bit over 30 minutes. It's been super fun. I appreciate every single one of y'all coming in today. Let me know what y'all thought about the articles today, if there's other features that you want to see in future episodes. And as always, this is going to be on Spotify, YouTube, and I'm going to work on getting this migrated to as many platforms as possible. But thank y'all so much for joining your boy Don. It's been super fun. I'm going to talk to y'all on the flip side. You know what it is. Have a good one. Deuces and peace out.